I was asked to make a quick segment video. So this one's gonna be quick and to the point. There are those right now that see the shift in the reality and they want to be a part of it. So I had a gentleman or a lady, and I can't remember, and I apologize because I just tried to look for your post so I could give you a shout out. They wanted to know, Trey, how can I raise my frequency or my vibration? Again, I can't tell you how, but I can give you my experience. On my journey, I began to raise my frequency simply by doing a few things. One, I began to start to focus my attentions on other people, than not just myself. And what I was doing by doing that was I was taking away my ego and I was receiving the light of love. And what it did was it started to make me become a bigger person. Have you ever noticed the higher you go up on the company, the more people you have beneath you? That's not to say that they're lower than you. That's more people that you have to serve. So you would say that that person has a higher frequency. See, that's because when you're willing to serve others, the universe begins to serve you. So it helps. And what the universe is basically doing is say, hey, you're giving the little energy that you have to others that probably don't deserve it. And I, the creator of all things, I'm going to give you some of my energy that you may not deserve. And you'll start to see your reality shift. You'll start to feel like, hey, I have more power and control than I once thought I had. Another thing that I started to do, I realized the things that I listened to and the things that I see were being pushed into my subconscious mind. And from them going in there, it's like a projector. I started to project what I heard and what I saw out onto the movie screen or the matrix that we experience. So I said, hey, if I'm tired of experiencing horror movies, why don't I start putting like positive things into my brain? So I had realized that the rap music that I was listening to about blowing brains out and in the trap house and every female was the H word or a B, you know? I started putting things in my system, in my subconscious mind, like Coldplay, where when he was putting in this reality of this peaceful world, I started to project that out into this physical reality. And then I started to live a peace-filled world. I started realizing that some of the communications that I was saying to people, I was absorbing their negativity. And what it did was, again, went into my subconscious mind, and I was creating a reality that lowered my frequency. So I started to make decisions. I started to be a shepherd of my energy. I started to realize that I could no longer go around people that are going to lower my frequency. Now, if I'm in a situation that I can't avoid it because these people live inside of my home, then I would say I can't control what you do, but I do not have to entertain or interact with that lower frequency. It's kind of like having a radio station on that's always saying stuff that you dislike. It's simple. They can keep playing the radio, you just cut off the power to it. And it shuts that communication or that vibration from getting inside of your auric field and lowering your frequency. Number 3, I started realizing that the one thing that has the highest vibration and has never shifted from what the universe originally planned for it to be was the nature, the birds, the trees, the butterflies. So sometimes you have to just disconnect from this pseudo reality, this matrix, this world of the evil cabal, and go out into nature, deep inside of the woods, or go to a national park, or go to a wildlife refuge, and just take your time and cruise through. And you'll start realizing one simple truth, that when you're in nature, you're going with inside of yourself. And that actually raises your frequency to the frequency of Gaia or Earth, which is powerful. Think about it. The Earth has to feed all of humanity and all of the plants and all of the animals, and it keeps the circle of life going. That's a lot of energy there. And when you start to tap into that, it starts to raise your frequency. I used to also use something that I heard from a guy by the name of Ralph Smart from Infinite Waters. Shout out to Ralph Smart. He had this saying at the end in his segments, and it would sound something like, "Woo, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello there?" And what I started to do was wake up before I headed to work or wake up before I began my day. And I would say that as an affirmation because that's a great thing to say, that it feels so good to be alive. Now, the more that I kept putting that inside of my subconscious mind, I started to reject a life that felt good to experience. See, what you put in is what you get out. So if you put in things that will feed your frequencies or feed your soul, you'll raise your vibrations and you'll be able to see from the mountaintops the truth of reality. See, if you're living in the valley, you have a limited viewpoint. You may believe that, oh, life is miserable and I can't get out. But when you soar like an eagle over the top, you get to see the entire valley. You get to see what's really going on. And when you get to that frequency, you'll say, like I always say, woo, the power had been with me all along. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, right now is a pivotal time in reality. Take this time to raise your frequency. Take this time to go all out. Because like I always say, Mach 2, this here was written. Peace.